Welcome to Fast Recaps. Today I'll be talking about a movie called Through My Window from 2022. This movie is about a girl named Raquel who is from a poor family, but her neighbors are extremely rich people who own a big company called Alpha 3 that was considered to be a big firm like Tesla or Amazon. Today, the owner of the company has three sons, Apollo, Ares, and Artemis. Ares was Raquel's favorite and she used to like him and search about him on internet. So the movie begins with a Wi-Fi problem. That day, Wi-Fi from Hidalgo brother stops working while Raquel's Wi-Fi is on. And nearby Apollo explains that his brother gave him her password for the Wi-Fi and that he is thankful for it. Raquel is quite confused with that statement as she hasn't done such thing. In the following night, Ares jumps in her backyard with a laptop which is connected to her Wi-Fi and tells her that there isn't working and that he will be using hers. He doesn't seem to listen and eventually just goes away. The next day in the school, Raquel meets her best friend Yoshi. Her friend Yoshi loves her but isn't able to let her know how he feels. In the next scene, Raquel is on a playground and sneak peeks Ares while he is working out. Later she stalks Ares in the rain and ends up at the local graveyard. In about a minute, Ares shows up and tells her that he knows that she likes him because he hacked her computer earlier and saw his photos all over her laptop. In hesitation, she tells Ares her feelings about him. She tells him that it's too dark, she is scared and wants him to walk her home, which Ares agrees but with a condition that she will have to kiss him first. She hesitates but agrees in the end. His lips almost touch hers but he stops and starts walking until they reach their home. After finishing dinner with her mother, she goes back to her room to find out Ares sneaking inside. Raquel insists he goes home, but he knows she likes him and won't call her mother on him. He makes her sit on a chair and slowly starts kissing her beautiful legs. She internally wants him to continue doing the act of seduction. Raquel is very aroused by him doing this, but Ares sneaks out of her room through the window. Later, Raquel is working at her job and interacting with her best friend Yoshi. Suddenly, she nervously encounters Ares approaching her. He invites her to his brother's new club that's opening same night and tells her that she can bring any of her friends at the party. Raquel and Ares can be seen together while Ares is sitting on the chair while Raquel is sitting on top of him. Ares is very aroused and slowly goes towards her face to kiss her, but she doesn't let it happen and leaves aroused Ares behind, taking a chance to leave him hanging, as he left her wanting for more on the graveyard. Later she meets Apollo at the club. Apollo was never allowed to drink by his older brother, but Raquel intentionally makes him drink. As a result, he ends up being very drunk. Drunk Apollo shows Raquel's friend Daniela that he likes her. Afterwards, he picks Raquel's phone and throws it away from the car. Seeing as they cannot leave drunk Apollo at his house, they decide to let him sleep at Raquel's room. That night, Ares suddenly shows up and he also decides to stay at Raquel's place. Now Raquel has no other choice but to sleep in the middle of the two brothers. Ares slowly uses his fingers and things start to happen. Raquel looks like she is on the top of the world, enjoying every second of it. In the following morning, at her school, she tells her friend about last night's incident. She finds out that Ares gifted her a brand new phone, since his brother broke her phone last night. Seeing as she doesn't want to accept it, she decides to walk to his home and return it. There she finds Claudia, who tells Raquel that Ares is waiting for her in his game room. She goes inside to discover that he is talking to a different girl on his phone. She silently leaves the phone and starts walking away, but he grabs her back in his arms and slowly makes a move. Starting to kiss her, they end up making out. After the deed, Ares tells her to leave, but Raquel seems hurt and goes back to her house in anger. Meanwhile, Ares finds her necklace in his room and Raquel goes back to his house to get it. This time, Claudia takes her to the backyard where Ares is again talking to girls, including many other friends. There they play a game of truth or dare. Then Ares grabs her and throws both of them in the swimming pool. Since she wants her locket back, Ares takes her to his room and gives back her necklace, while she curiously asks Ares what does he thinks of her. While Ares, not missing any opportunity, doesn't take too long to slowly start to kiss her, and their adventure starts again. Later, while Raquel is sleeping and Ares goes outside and looks a bit stressed out. While Ares is outside, Claudia tells Raquel to leave the house and once again she ends up angry. At night she watches a movie with Yoshi but seems uninterested. They join Daniela's party where Daniela even kisses a pillow but leave him right after and walk away with her friend. Surprisingly, Raquel yet finds Ares kissing another girl. Raquel is emotional while feeling very hurt leaves the party. Later that night, Yoshi and Raquel are sitting with each other talking. Suddenly the pools start to pour out dirt water and they leave. Raquel is walking towards her home very drunk, but Ares arrives at the location. He takes Raquel home safely. Raquel is still emotional and asks Aries to tell her a story before sleep. Immediately he begins telling her his own story while Raquel is barely conscious and drunk. Aries explains her that he always loved her but can't tell her that, because love will make him weaker. The next day his dad tells him to focus on studies and stay away from girls. Later Raquel is sitting in a library with Yoshi while Aries approaches her and asks her on a date. At first she is a bit hesitant but later agrees to go on a date. Yoshi encounters this incident and they argue. Yoshi tells her that Aries is just using her and walks away frustrated. Later on they decide to go on a costume party where Raquel is a witch. Both go on the top of Aries' father's company tower and after having nice dinner they make love. Now they are really a couple and make out whenever the hell they want. But Aries' father gets to know about all of the good deeds happening. His father ends up scolding him in front of his family. Later Aries decides to get a job at Raquel's workplace and tries to make money for his studies on his own, but his company's rat tells Aries' older brother about this. Next week Raquel gets ready to go to a company party with Aries while they are talking. She is shocked to see her mother working as a waitress in the same party. She leaves the party immediately. Aries gets to know the truth that his older brother intentionally invited her mother to be a waitress in their party so that they both break up from their relationship. Raquel is at home and is very sad, whereas Aries is also showing sad emotions because now he is really in love with her. She goes to the school and encounters an incident where Apollo is asking Daniela for prom but she denies it. Later Aries meets Raquel at her workplace and he asks her to go on prom with her but she sadly says no. Meanwhile Raquel isn't happy about it and cries at home thinking of Aries. Her mother tells her that if she loves Aries then she should go and talk to him about it. She goes to his home and tries to talk to him, but sees him sitting with his family while she shouts that she loves Aries. But since his family is sitting with him he decides to ignore everything. Later broken Raquel goes to prom all alone. Aries arrives at the party as well but doesn't meet Raquel and meets Yoshi instead. He takes Yoshi near the swimming pool and tells him to punch his face as hard as he can, because he cheated on Raquel. It doesn't take too long for Yoshi to turn into the One Punch Man and knocks Aries out. As a result, Aries gets thrown into the swimming pool which contains less water than usual, thus making Aries unable to escape it. Little did they realize that Aries was extremely allergic to chlorine. Now Yoshi goes back to Raquel and describes what happened. Raquel goes to the pool and finds Aries totally unconscious. They call the ambulance. His condition becomes very critical. Later he admits to the ICU. Luckily a few days later he successfully recovers from the accident. Aries goes back home and his family loves him even more. His father, his older brother start to let go of their ego. They send him to medical school but Aries keeps his distance from Raquel. She writes a book about her story and in no time it gets very famous. She is loved by millions of people. Later she can be seen laying on her bed and texting Aries, but as a surprise Aries is looking through her room window already. They once again do the date. If you would like to see more fast recaps, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.